Hi, my name's Lacey. I just want to share about the work God is doing here in Charlottesville. So Thursday night, I got a call or got a text late at night saying for my pastor's wife, a friend of a friend of a friend was sitting on a plane next to a woman who's headed to Charlottesville for an abortion. She's coming from Georgia, where she's past their legal limit. So this woman who had met her on the plane, just spoke truth to her, told her about God's love for her and the baby, and just tried to talk her out of it. But she drove her to the hotel, just tried to encourage her, but left not really knowing what she would decide. So, pastor's wife knows that I go to Planned Parenthood on Friday, so let me know just so I could be looking out for her. So when I heard this, I just started praying, God, like, to be with this woman, convict this woman. Um, Encourage this woman. What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And I thought I'll make a gift. What could I do? It's like 11:30 and I go early in the morning. But no coincidence. I had a baby present for someone sitting on top of my piano, literally my next door neighbor. But it's been sitting on my piano for like 3 months. I haven't given it to them. So yes, I put that in a bag. Some snacks, pack of baby wipes. Wrote her a note, the literature we provide is an encouragement about the resources that are available for this woman. So a group of us who go to Planned Parenthood on Friday morning, we were there around 11 o'clock. She showed up. All I knew was her name and that all she had with her was a fanny pack. So when a woman with a fanny pack got out of her Uber, we knew this was probably our girl. So I called out to her by her name and said, "Is this your name? We're here. We want to help you. If you're pregnant, you are a mom. Please love your baby. Please come talk to us. We want to help you." She was rather taken aback that I knew her name. How do you know my name? Um, didn't really want to engage with us, went into the clinic as we just prayed. About 10 minutes later, she came back out and she said, what's your name and how did you know my name? She'd come up with these stories of how I might have known her name. She thought the clinic people had given her my name, which is funny to think of them in cahoots with us. But she left when she was doing her paperwork in there because she needed to come out and find out how I knew her name. So I told her, friend of a friend of a friend was with you and had told me a little bit of your story. We've been waiting for you. I have a gift here for you. I want to share with you. So once again, just encourage her about the love God has for her and for her child. We talked about um, the resources that are available, who God has made her to be, the purpose and plan he has for her child. One of the things that she had shared, because she clearly was torn about this decision, was that her funds have been covered. People who will cover the funds, for your hotel and flight and all of these things for you to have an abortion. And so in a sense, she was, wasting their money if she didn't go through with it. So I just encouraged her, like, it is good to be, careful with others' resources, but this gift that God has given you is infinitely more valuable than that money, which people may have given you thinking they were helping you, but they were helping you to do something that is wicked. So, just encouraging her to do the right thing and not that be part of her consideration. So eventually she decided she was going to go in. If the baby looked good, everything was okay, then maybe she wouldn't do it. So we just continued to encourage her. I told her the story of when we have a little one who was adopted, has some special needs, and then he would say that, it would have been okay to abort him, but he is amazing and full of love and life and joy, and his life has meaning and he has value because of who he is. And so just regardless of what the ultrasound says, you can do this. So eventually she said, okay, I'm going to go in and I'll get the ultrasound, but either way, I'm not going to do it. So texting with her while she's in the clinic, I was able to talk to the crisis pregnancy center that's just around the corner here in Charlottesville. They were able to get somebody who wasn't on today. They don't normally have ultrasound on Friday to come in to do an ultrasound for her. So she came out. She didn't receive any services at Planned Parenthood. Went to LifeSpring. They were able to give her an ultrasound. Once again, just encourage her in where she is and God's plan for her, and just encourage her that God will not abandon her and that God is with her, that they will continue to walk with her and encourage her. So she was very emotional. Good to see her little tiny baby. Really emotional about the choice that she had almost made. So she left. I got to drive her to the airport. She's now home in Georgia with her other babies. But she told me, I hadn't smiled since I found out this news. But she's smiling now. Please pray for her. She has a really difficult story. She doesn't have a lot of support at home, so I'm praying that she will find Christian community to encourage her in Georgia. She knows of the Lord, but isn't really walking with the Lord. You know, I was trying to encourage her that God has a plan for you, and she's yes, Jeremiah 29:11. So she's definitely had some exposure, but you know, it needs a mentorship and to truly know Jesus. So pray for this woman. Just always want to encourage anyone who's considered going to the sidewalk to do it. Take it before the Lord. Ask him if it would be something he would have you do. I know I was afraid, would I have the right words? Would I say the right things? Would I do the right things? But I've been doing it for about a year and a half, and I know no, it's not my eloquence that's ever going to persuade anyone. It is God who changes their heart. So certainly there's all sorts of resources to equip you to have more answers to people's questions. But in the end, there are times that I feel like I have had a solution for every problem, and I have, remembered the scriptures that I maybe wouldn't normally have recalled. And in the end, that person still chooses to have an abortion. And then those are times like this, where God has just put believer after believer in this person's path, each one of us doing a little something, being used by God to encourage someone who is in a dark place. So please go pray, try to speak with people who, most of whom are in a really dark place and just need hope, just need to be reminded of what they probably already know is what they're doing is wrong. So thank you so much, and just excited to see what God continues to do here in Charlottesville and around our country. Thank you.